What if Lumon's biggest secret isn't just separating memories, but merging them? Season 2 of Severance left us with more questions than answers. But one of the most exciting theories going around right now is what fans are calling the Lumon merge theory. The idea is simple but terrifying. What if Season 3 doesn't focus on keeping innies and outies apart, but instead brings them together? Imagine both versions of yourself suddenly sharing one body, one mind, and one overwhelming storm of memories. Sounds chaotic, right? But that might be exactly what's coming. Let's break this down. At the heart of Severance is the idea of control. Lumon created the Severance chip to control their workers by separating who they are inside the office from who they are outside. That way, innies can't escape and outies can't interfere. But in the Season 2 finale, we saw something start to break. Mark's outie found out about his innie. Helly's innie took over her outie during the gala and exposed shocking secrets on stage. Irving discovered truths about Bert. Dylan broke the rules to wake them all up. It was the beginning of a breakdown in the system, a hint that the line between innie and outie isn't as strong as Lumon wants us to believe. So what if that line completely vanishes in Season 3? That's the core of the merge theory. It suggests that Season 3 might show what happens when the Severance chip fails, or is intentionally overridden. And instead of switching between innie and outie, the character experiences both realities at once. They would remember everything, all the trauma, all the lies, and all the buried truths. Think about the emotional impact. For Mark, that means remembering every second of his grief for Gemma, both at home and in the office. For Helly, it means fully realizing what her outie has allowed, and the horror her innie went through. It's not just a plot twist. It's a deep psychological nightmare. Now let's think about what clues the show has already given us. Throughout Season 2, we've seen the Severance tech isn't perfect. Petey's reintegration proved that. He was unstable, confused, and suffering hallucinations. But more importantly, he was trying to warn Mark. He kept saying things like, "They're watching you," and "You have to wake up." Maybe Petey wasn't just reintegrated. Maybe he was the first failed merge. His mind couldn't handle the two selves colliding. That might explain his breakdown and why Lumon wanted him silenced. There's another clue in Ms. Coble's behavior. She started off as a strict enforcer of Lumon's rules, but she became more and more emotional as the season went on. When she watches Mark's sister's baby being born, she cries. That's not just an act of spying, it's personal. Maybe she remembers something from a time before she was severed. Or maybe, like Petey, she's starting to feel both sides of herself. If even the higher-ups are experiencing cracks in their severance, then a full merge might not be far off. Now, let's ask the big question. What would Lumon do if merges started happening? Would they try to fix the system? Or would they push it even further, forcing employees to fully merge so they can have workers who remember everything, but still stay under control? That's a scary thought. Imagine being fully aware of how you're being used and still being trapped. This theory also fits with how the show explores identity. In Severance, the innies and outies are treated like different people, but really they're just two sides of the same person. They share the same body, the same brain. It makes sense that eventually the barrier would break. And once it does, all those bottled up feelings, anger, grief, betrayal, could explode. And that's where Season 3 could go. Not just a physical fight against Lumon, but an emotional and mental one. A season about memory overload, mental collapse, and personal identity trying to survive in a broken system. In the next section, we'll look at how each character might handle this merge, and which ones could completely fall apart under the weight of their own truth. If the merge theory turns out to be true, Severance Season 3 won't just be about rebellion. It'll be about identity collapse. It's not just a fight against Lumon anymore. It's a fight for the self, a fight to stay whole in a system that was designed to split people apart. This theory doesn't just give us an idea of where the story might go, it also explains the emotional tone the show has been building toward. Sadness, confusion, rage, guilt. All of these feelings come from people who are starting to remember too much. Think about the impact of that. If everyone merges, Severance changes from a mystery into a psychological war. The characters aren't just running from Lumon anymore. They're running from themselves. Mark may be forced to relive the death of Gemma with both minds at once. Helly will feel the betrayal of her outie, who allowed all this to happen. Irving could drown in memories of war, love, and personal loss. For some characters, the merge could lead to strength and unity. For others, it might cause total emotional collapse. And yet, that might be the only way forward. Because here's the real twist. Maybe the merge isn't a bug in the system. Maybe it's the next phase. Think back to how cult-like Lumon has always been. Keir Egan isn't just a CEO, he's treated like a prophet. What if the merge is part of Lumon's bigger plan? What if they want employees to become one perfect person, obedient, loyal, and totally aware? That would mean every trial, every break room punishment, every waffle party was just part of the grooming process. A way to test who could survive the merge and who couldn't. That also fits with the show's subtle hints at transhumanism. From the eerie paintings to the mysterious symbols and rituals, Lumon has never just been about business. They're trying to create something bigger, something unnatural. Maybe they're building the future of humanity, where no one has secrets from themselves, where pain, joy, and memory are no longer personal, but shared, owned, and possibly controlled. The Severance chip might not be the end game. It might be just the first step. So what can we expect in Season 3? We expect chaos, people waking up in the wrong life, characters breaking down under emotional weight. Maybe even employees trying to reverse the merge or destroy Lumon entirely. And if any of our main characters survive it with their identity intact, it'll be a miracle. But that's exactly why this theory is so powerful. Because at its heart, Severance has always been about one thing: what makes us whole. And Season 3 might finally give us the answer, by showing us what happens when that wholeness is forced upon people who were never allowed to be one person in the first place. Now, it's your turn. Do you think the merge is coming? Will Mark, Helly, and the others survive it? Or is Lumon about to win in a way no one expects? Drop your theories in the comments, and if this breakdown got your mind spinning, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into Severance, sci-fi, and the wild world of mind-bending TV. We've only just begun to peel back the layers of Lumon.